game number 3, game number 6 of week number 6 here on the 4th day. Final game of the week before we head into our playoff blitz of a week. 5 days next week. We're going to be playing starting on Wednesday, going all the way through Sunday, figuring out which teams are going to be at the top of the table. Yeah, I mean, we already have some excitement. If Team Secret wins this series, things get thrown absolutely out the window. There's so much competitiveness to happen for the remainder of the week. You have to think just how wild things kind of get thrown into turmoil, how quickly things can turn as Zuhao is trapped.
No.
Good attempt,
Okay.
although Kadi doesn't have W, I don't believe, so that W or E would have been CC necessary, probably started the Q, and so because of that, Kadi just ends up not being able to follow up, not be able to CC the recon and force anything but the battle dance at level 1.
I could definitely see maybe Kadi just hold. Yeah, no, sorry, that's a Vi. But I could definitely see Kadi sort of sitting on that skill point until he gets to the lane to make. And if if that hook hits. If that hook hits, then
nope.
Then level up E, but
no. Kadi's the level Q at level 1. He's a criminal. Yeah, 100%.
Just like me for real. Yeah, so how it's gonna take a bit of damage. Hooks coming out from Xin early on, and also I love Xin. He's using my favorite Nautilus skin. I love it. I love his big red eyes just coming out of his sort of mouth looking thing.
Okay, but Astro Nautilus has little cool walking animation, so how could you ever deny that? Where is that?
This one is significantly cheaper.
Coward.
Yeah, and right now Kiai's going to have a bit of a struggle early on into this matchup. Once the dashes start coming through, Kiai can be a bit more aggressive at poking for those vitals.
I think he missed the Q. Goodbye to your mana. Yeah, Artifact, unfortunately, he cast E without killing a minion or hitting a Q, which means that it is his mana bar is gone. It just doesn't exist anymore.
Yep. I
Such
guess
is the way of
looking for the level 1 conquer trade, try and gain some pressure, but you end up in a low situation.
I really miss the old days of Cassiopeia where you could just spam E at level 1, and I remember Faker, I think it was Crown he was playing against, and he literally just killed him level 1 by just Eing him off of his own wave to start with. As Levi looking for something under the towers, Zuhao is going to deny that any kind of progress. Also, Kiang was there for a counter gank in the right circumstance.
They don't stop coming and they don't stop coming. Levi wants to potentially do another one, but the ward going to come down, gets replaced immediately. And now they're gonna have to bump into each other, the jungles.
Haha. Got him. Pranked. Over a ward went
been spotted.
So yeah, there's no way that's gonna fool anybody.
So
Could just buy space for you just buy space. What happened top? Okay, Hero just smurfs on Kiai. See, we jumped away seconds ago and they were both at like half health, and then out of nowhere Kiai is just at 0 health, and that's first blood going over to Hero in the skill matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we have, Kiai has been a fantastic top laner in this league for a long time. I hold that thought.
Nothing, because Eddie can't trade back damage all that much.
Can't quite connect the trap, so doesn't want to push up all in. So, back to top lane, Kiai has been fantastic. He's been a top level top laner for so long, since 2020 at least. But he's never really been... especially in the past few years, ever since the winter split, at least in my eyes, he's never been fantastic.
The absolutely baited jump.
Yeah, doesn't play the mind game correctly. Hero wins and gets the kill. But yeah, his laning has not been the strongest. He's always been an absolute demon in the late game in the team fights. But this is where he is most punishable. And Hero, since last split, has been the big lane monster. Okay. So. This is an angle.
Yeah, I had to be really careful. Style was dancing around with very low health right there because the trade actually was... The trade was beneficial. It was GAM favored by far, but that's because nobody touched Xin the entire time and all of the damage went onto Style, so I had to rely on Xin being a bit more of a front line right there on the Nautilus, making sure that damage was being absorbed and doing some damage on his own, and ends up just leading to a double back here. Actually, Eddie stuck around for another second. I'm not sure why he canceled his back right there, but decides to finally take the back. It'll be the last one in the lane.
Yes, they did force the Ghost out of Style, so there is a small win there, but it's not something major. He still has the flash so trying to make a play into the bot lane would be a little bit difficult. Dragon on the table, it's taken some time, but...
Is there a reason why Kiang would be rushing Chemsword in this game? Or Chainsword? Like, there's a little bit of healing, but... Okay, there's a hook into the mid lane. Now we have a massive Cassiopeia ultimate, but there's a flank on the backside that lets Levi deliver Galio on top of everybody directly into place. That's 1 kill going over. Now Kadi's going to be able to E backwards. Justice Punch gets him out of danger to start with as Kiang's able to clean up 1 kill. Ends up just being a 1-for-1. That looked a lot more dangerous because a lot of health got lost with TS's members, but they are going to be able to live it as it is just the trade of kills.
Yeah, 1-for-1. Very, very subtle from Kadi being able to walk off the miasma just enough to get that hero's entrance. It doesn't really do enough. This is a very aggressive turnaround, but it's a beautiful petrifying gaze that slows this whole thing down.
Yes.
But Levi is able to do the damage. Kind of Xin backs away because he's extremely low, and then a minion kind of gets in the way, which stops him from finding the follow-up hook.
Not him again.
Kiai cannot win the minigame to save his life.
Yes.
But as to your Kiang point, Men has not read a patch note in like 3 months. Okay. That's my only excuse for these people. Goodbye.
Oh.
Goodbye, Kiaya.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
But the minions are nice and healthy.
The minions are nice and healthy, and Kadi will be here to collect, so it's not that big of a loss here for the team of GAM. But as for Kiaya, he is very upset because that wave was massive that he just lost. So ends up being the 1-for-1. Hero's okay with that because of the lost experience and minions that are going to go down in mid lane. It looks like actually it's so desperation for Kiai, he's going to run up mid lane and try to grab the remnants of this wave and maybe the remnants of the next wave as well. Look at this though from Hero. Hero knows he doesn't care. Like he's so close. I'm a little upset that he didn't end up pressing the tower because he might have been able to get a plate off of it. But outside of that, I mean, if he had been able to get a plate and also get this 1-for-1 and deny that minion wave, that would have just been like icing on the cake for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of, as Kiai, you lose a huge wave. You're kind of happy in the sense that you probably picked up a little bit of a shutdown bonus.
Mm-hmm.
And you did technically deny a plate to Hero. The plate broke and no one was around to collect it, so you are doing okay. You survived all right that time around, but GAM on the bot side, this is where they have control. Oh dear.
Here we go. Boxed out of the pit is going to be the jungler. That's going to be a lot of damage on the Kiang, as that's going to be Dragon going down here for GAM. Styles in the back of the pit trying to put out some damage. Kadi completely whiffs on the Justice Punch. Ultimate from Style also whiffs, as it's just a 1-for-1 so far with the Dragon going over, but GAM is still trapped inside of this pit. They need to do damage. Artifact has to put out some damage as well, waiting for the second miasma. He gets hooked in. Now Zuhao flash away from Styles, going to be able to get him onto the back line to be able to put damage down onto Artifact. That's miasma number 2, who's going to be going down. Justice Punch into Eddie. He's going to try to disrupt him, but they can't put out damage. Style needs to be able to find something. One auto to find multiple kills. That's going to be one now. Zin wins. And Eddie is the only one remaining at the tail end of the fight. Ends up being a 3-for-4 where GAM pulls the Dragon as well.
Yeah, it's a win for Team Secret in the fight. Eddie picking up 3 kills.
Yes.
No, 2 kills. He picked up double kill. He picks up a lot of gold though. So does Artifact, getting a nice decent chunk, getting to go towards his Rod of Ages pretty quickly. There's a 1 trade for Kiara and Levi in the area, so Hero just has to leave. But that's ultimate down, so next time. And I have no idea how Kyung survived long enough to get this ultimate off, so they get the first kill trade onto Levi, and then this is a bit of a weird one. I kind of just expected them to try and leave at least get Style to evacuate over the back of the pit, but it's a nice taunt, it's a nice flash from Style, but the damage isn't quite in yet, and dashing back to get Eddie means puts Cardi on top of the miasma, and that just means he'll end up falling in. It's a bit of split target decision making. That Style ended up going down before Eddie, and that wins the fight.
And the unfortunate part of it was also, like, literally 1 auto attack for Style that did maybe a handful more damage. Like, if he had, like, 2 extra AD in that fight, it feels like there would have been enough damage to get excited for Style, and then he pops off, and then he can deliver shots, and it's hard for Eddie to track him because he's just running too fast. But unfortunately, before the first kill went down, eventually Eddie kind of delivered the killing blow, and that meant that there was no way for that to actually come true. So the eventuality was that Style went down just as the first kill went out with that rocket. So while Style did end up picking up a kill, it was just one auto too late, one auto faster. Maybe he can run out and Eddie can't catch him, and at least it ends up being just like trades for one or something like that. But in the grand scheme, it was still quite a few kills traded back and forth between the two teams. The Dragon's still going to GAM. I don't think it changes the game that much, although Eddie now feeling quite a bit better on this Zeri pick.
Artifact looking at Style on the just 280 short gallows thing first time.
True.
Yeah, now we have a full Chempunk sword completed full side of Kyung.
Augers. At least
don't know what that's for.
I mean, like, you got like Sunder from Wukong. You got Kadi was just getting right out for a second. You got like Sunder on Wukong. You got like Kiaya, who's probably gonna build some healing items. You got like Bloodthirster maybe on the Jinx, but like, why? Like it's just too early in the game to be worried about that kind of healing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly. Why first? Like, if you the Black Cleaver is going to do more.
Not
for
so
you
much
into
more.
The matchup,
it's so much more. Yeah.
Into the 1v1 matchup with Levi, because you're going to break apart his passive and remove that from him. The healing is not enough at this stage, and yeah, it's just not even efficient anymore. Like, it's still efficient, but it's nowhere near as what it used to be. Black Cleaver is just better in pretty much every way.
Especially with the amount of tank that kind of sits in front of the team. You got like Wukong, Galio, and then you also got like Fiora could end up building some, and it might be really, really bad to like not have any sort of armor shred for your team. Out of fairness, also, like in terms of physical damage, you have a lot of mixed damage coming out of Jax and a lot of mixed damage ending up coming out of Zeri. I think Zeri's damage portfolio is like 30% magic or something like that. So Black Cleaver doesn't get the same type of effect as a pure AD.
Okay.
Zuao goes jumping in really early to make sure that this play comes through. That's an ultimate directly onto Kiang, or from Kiang onto the backline to make sure that Style is pressured completely out of this fight altogether. Ultimate from Levi or from Kadi is able to kind of deny everything as one diver goes down. Eddie's trying to deliver the shots to be able to go forward. Artifact also on this consistent damage carry is going to try to do something. Justice Punch from Kadi is going to get him underneath the tower. Now it's just about making sure that nobody dies. Xin is going to take that W, but it's not going to be enough damage. This ended up being a 1-for-1, and the Rift Herald got dropped, and it got the turret plate, but that's all it got, as GAM's play is shut down in place by Team Secret.
Yeah, completely shut down. I guess with the... No, actually, there's not enough time to get... The dragon is not at the right spawn, so... It's a lot committed to just get the one that they had to blow the quickness extremely early.
Yes.
I guess it's lane control. You had that health advantage, so you can crash an extra wave, get a bit of a better reset for the dragon when it comes up. But actually, given the time, I don't even know if you can get that reset. And so it's just kind of sitting there, taking a bit of poison, so Artifact can't actually walk up and hit the tower. That's nice. It's fun to see.
Sacrifice. Never hurt anybody. Didn't need it, but, it happens. Now Kadi's on the bottom side of the map here, as they were looking for mid-push, and they did that by putting Stylins in there. So Kadi should be perfectly fine, as the rest of the team is now in this top side, or in this bottom side jungle, looking for this dragon. They've gotten a decent amount of damage on it. Now they've spotted out by Kiang, who's going to look to Blast Cone over the wall. And they've got the proper positioning to catch him. If you Blast Cone's over...
There's no hero.
Could be disastrous. They're away from Artifact. There we go. Ultimate goes onto Style immediately. Jump onto him, and that's Zuhao just dead. Nothing else to be said. Levi is in the pit right now, fighting up against Artifact. I think they're trying to blitz. I think he's trying to blitz down the dragon to try to snag that one up. He does get it. Okay, and now he doesn't quite have the W to be able to get out. I thought he was maybe going to be able to escape, as it's a double kill for the dragon coming through from GAM.
It's just really good timing. Ultimates were back up from Kyung and Zuhao, not up from Kati and Xin. Couldn't actually react to it to try and save Style, and then Levi, he commits to the dragon, he gets it, but yeah, as you said, doesn't quite have it. And you see here, they go in. Zin's actually knocked back by the cease and desist, so I guess probably just said, okay, I can't actually use it, there's no point. Kati straight up didn't have it. Oh no, actually Zin didn't have it either, so I was right the first time around. But yeah, the dragon get by the side of Levi is a good consolation prize, even if he did end up sacrificing his life for it. But on the top side, Hero has won this lane completely. He's taken the tower down in the 1v1, and now Kiai can have a nice little freeze to himself if he wants it.
There's a big problem now, which is Eddie is on Runans completed already, and then Seraph is going to be on the way for Artifact here any minute now. In fact, actually, yeah, there's all the components for it, so he's super close to being able to finish up the Seraph. In fact, he might wait for it. He went back into the base. He might have the gold, or he's waiting for 25 gold or something like that for a ward or something along those lines.
For a tiny little bit left, and there's no objective on the map really. There's Rift Herald pop coming up in 10 seconds.
Yeah, he's not pressed
for that. You have the teleport, you're all good.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Seraph is completed. He got up to top tower to be able to start pushing that one. Kiang's got his position kind of handled, so a wave is being pushed. And now Rift Herald number 2, surely under fire from both of these squads. Okay, Eddie, not going to get caught out. He's going to get caught out in that in the taunt, but nobody's there to follow up, so it's not that big of a deal.
But look at bot side. Hero's just having a field day.
Hero's crushing. Yeah.
Kiai's gonna try and get there, but he's there too late. The tower falls for free, and the Rift Herald still hasn't even really been started by anyone. So now Hero can walk his way up, try maybe get a wraparound flank to threaten or at least push Style back. I think he's gonna go on the tower just yet. It's much more calm, much more reasonable from Team Secret this time around, unlike the first game, which was just an anomaly from both these teams.
Yes.
There's a Rift Herald in pocket. Now they can use that to crack open mid lane tower whenever they want. They can use that to get pressure over the third dragon. Maybe they can find an angle. Try and catch Style on a reset. They can't do it now, but maybe next time.
Team Secret has been enormous in this game already. They've done so much active work to make sure that bottom lane is set up, that Eddie is set up, that Artifact is set up. They've got the damage for this fight. And you've got a ridiculous amount of dive to work with on GAM's side. But the thing is, if you're diving into a team that's able to catch you the way that Team Secret's been able to so far, you're in a lot of trouble. Hero also, just on his own volition, without really all that much pressure, has done a good job of shutting out the side lane pressure of Kiaya, which means that Kiaya is not only not great at team fighting, maybe you could use him as a tank buster or something like that on the front line, but outside of that, it's not going to be that valuable. And in the split push is still a ways out from being able to beat the Jax in the pure one-on-one because of the proficiency that Hero's brought back to the game. Honestly, I know Kratos wasn't terrible. I don't think you could blame a lot of the losses on Kratos on his own, but you can see the difference that Hero makes to this roster because he is a star player. We talked about that quite a bit. Again, Emperor is an absolute beast. There are players that just change the dynamic of the game, and Hero for Team Secret is absolutely, positively one of them. And the fact that he was gone for so long was so confusing to us for a reason, as Hero's getting jumped on. Again, once again, Cast Curse, classic.
But isn't a Cast Curse when there's 5 men throwing at you and you get a tower in the trade?
Levi got the kill. That sucks.
Levi gets the kill, which is not ideal, but they blew pretty much everything by Xin. They blew the Ghost. They blew a teleport.
They blew everything, yeah.
They blew everything just short of that Grand Challenge, and it's a kill traded for a mid lane tower. That's pressure. That's absolutely going to be invaluable. He's even going to be up by the time this dragon spawns, so he can come down and contribute if he wants to that. It's just not quite worth it for GAM. It relieves a little bit of pressure. Not even all that much for Kiaya. Levels up the CS a bit. But he didn't get an assist goal. He didn't get any assist gold or anything. So just GAM clawing at scraps right now. Scrapsy can be enough for them to get back into it, but it's a spike you don't often see coming out from GAM. They've had a couple of games, but those are teams like Wales or SBTC or even Cerberus. You wouldn't be expecting it from Secret, who are in 7th place, 8th place, even. Secret
has classically been the kryptonite of GAM, even in splits where Secret isn't particularly amazing or maybe not the top team in the league. Like it's been rough previously. GAM's only losses in some splits have come to Team Secret on their own, even after winning the championship, after winning the #1 during the regular season. Team Secret tends to give them fits. Maybe that it's a solid rivalry, honestly, between the two squads, because GAM is always at the top and Team Secret's usually consistent. It is, yes.
Yeah.
Truly. Somehow that's the case. Truly. So, well, what it is it's C9 versus any foreign team in their groups at Worlds, because somehow they always sneak out with the #2 seed. They never get #1, but they sneak out with the #2 seed in every single event.
C9 and tiebreakers unrivaled.
True.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Like, I mean, that matchup is fantastic because no matter what, it's always a top. It always ends up as one of the teams is at the top, like one of them's sort of floundering in the middle, and it's always just an absolute mental slugfest, kind of like what Game 1 was in the series. So it's gonna be a tantrum to Cuddy.
Cuddy is a beast, though. They ran into a brick wall right there. As Kiaya and Levi want more, they're gonna find a little bit. Cyclone's gonna get there. Flash is burnt by a couple of members on Team Secret here just to stay away. Oh, never mind. That's not true. That's not true in the slice. There's a flash from Levi, and there was no flash from Zuha. I thought Zuha had to flash to get out of that, but he actually did not. And now they're going to go on a Baron because there's no flash, and they've got Hero on the other side of the map, split pushing like a monster.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's real bad. Okay.
They're going to pull off the Baron for a little bit as everyone tries to collapse onto Hero. But yeah, they steal a blue buff for Artifact. They pretty much walked in just to get the blue buff for Artifact so he could burn down this Baron even faster.
Yes.
No Cyclone, no Flash. There is a Blast Stone though, so...
They do have to walk away. They have to be very careful not to box themselves in for the Galio ultimate.
But they're just playing through Jax.
They are, yeah. Hero's winning the game on the other side of the map. Now they're going to start the Baron back up, and if you walk back into topside, and if Kiaya starts roaming, then we're right back onto the Baron buff. Don't get baited. And there's the TP. Okay, now they know. Now they know everything. Got to get Wukong into the midst of everybody. Got to deliver Cuddy into the middle of the team. Only 3,000 out. Baron's certainly almost theirs.
Suha runs him out.
Okay. They're still stuck in the pit. There's no way for them to get out of the pit. They have a lot of flashes. There we go. There we go. Actually, everybody is able to get in. A huge taunt comes through from Cuddy to try to find something, but he just dies. No one's there.
Question mark pings. Team. I got a huge taunt and no one was there. I mean, no one really could follow up. He was so far ahead of everyone. If Levi had a flash, maybe, but didn't have it. Couldn't get in range to follow up with the Cyclone. Jinx already expended the rocket. And so Cuddy just gives that extra kill over. It makes Team Secret sweat a little bit and gives up a mid lane tower. But they got the bot lane inhibitor tower. They got the Baron. They didn't lose anyone. They're going to be able to blow this game extremely far open.
Mm-hmm. They got everything they want at this point, I have to assume. Like, they are not in a bad position at all. They're up an entire item on their split pusher. They're up, Radiant Virtue is going to be done for Kiang soon, so he's going to be able to frontline and press his ultimate pretty much at will. Your 3 damage items are done now for Artifact and for Eddie. I mean, this is about as good as you're going to get against GAM in a series. Like, if you're Team Secret, you are never finding this opportunity again. And this is an unrespondable win. We talk about this when we talk about teams that are beating teams at the top of the standings. Again, if you take a win off of GAM, nobody else is usually taking wins off of GAMs. This is a series win that you are not going to be able to match if you are most of the teams in the middle of the pack. This was a necessary win here for the side of Team Secret, and they are making it happen. They are willing it into existence here against our #1 undefeated squad. Not done yet, but
this would be so huge. It would pretty much lock them out of relegation. It would secure them next split in the VCS. Not quite, maybe not mathematically, but I mean, Flash is going to have a nightmare of a time to try and catch up onto that compared to this. And pressure, they don't want to commit too hard to a dive and give GAM the opportunity to come back, so just playing it so safe. They haven't been able to crack the base with this Baron. They've barely gotten any gold off of it, but maybe with Hero split push, they can get the wave into a position where they can pick up the Dex Dragon for free, open up that inhibitor in the bot lane, and maybe find something. But they're playing a bit too scared because they don't want to drop the gold and give GAM the angle.
Can we just pontificate for a moment? Imagine that Team Secret wins this series, right? They immediately tie in the standings alongside Team Flash. That's where they're at. Well, I believe technically they'd be a half a game above Flash, or they'd be a game above Flash because it'd be 5-7 instead of 4-8. So that means Flash has a must-win in the next week, assuming that Team Secret has to play Wales and they have to play against Cerberus. Flash has to play against Box and they have to play up against Wales as well. So there's guaranteed win that you have to make up in the midst of all of that. Somehow, if Team Secret cannot win both games because that would guarantee that Team Secret's out of that. But more importantly, if they are the team that beat GAM, they're walking into the Wales series and the Cerberus series, 2 teams that are vying for playoffs with an insane win. how nervous you have to be if you're Wales and team in Cerberus watching this one as a hook goes in, trying to find something. Zin's going to try to deliver big Galio ultimate. He's going to get them in the midst of everything, and maybe they've turned it around at least a little bit. Styles able to pick up kills at the front end. The Artifact and Eddie shoved out of the fight. Hero's the only frontliner they've got as 2 members go down in the attempted inhibitor take. As maybe we've spoken just a bit too soon. Team Secrets still have not crossed the finish line yet. We were really excited, and even without a win, this is still going to be a rough team to have to go against inside of playoffs, as Eddie and Artifact still getting chased down a little bit. I think they're going to have to call it off right here. As third drag into the game now, GAM should be able to take.
Petrifying Gate still exists. Maybe that can dissuade. They can look to play Dissuasion, but that doesn't seem likely. And I guess maybe just pulling back, waiting for that next Baron, and because they were playing around split push so well, but as Yuli always says, you can't win in this meta without some form of team fight. That one was a complete disaster for Team Secret. Hero is fully committing to the split push as well, going for this Blade of the Ruin King, which we almost never see anymore. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's not like it's an
turn the
empowered
camera. We
boss
don't
cone
care
or anything. But yeah. So he's committed to the split push, and if they play around, if Team Secret go back to playing around the objectives like they did around that Baron, maybe they can open up the pressure and force the situation where GAM can't rely on their team fighting, where they're just so good.
Kiaya, does he believe in himself sufficiently to go take on the massive Cassiopeia? No, he does not. Will not take Medusa on in a fight. Yeah, I wouldn't either. Honestly, I wouldn't take on any of these players even with a full build at this point. I feel like I would just get absolutely dogged on for no reason.
I could maybe take Zin if I had a full build of a champion that was very good at killing Nautilus. I think I can handle a Nautilus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that. Dan Bongino lives forever. Don Bon Jovi.
What am I meant to say? Dan Bongino, the Braum one trick.
Facts,
we all know that the Braum counters Nautilus, so that works out.
Okay.
Facts.
Bot lane, Hero, on his lonesome, split pushing to the best of his ability, has the Hole Breaker. That's the bold move. Okay, see, this is why Hero. This is why we wanted to see Hero in the lineup, because there are not a lot of top laners who would go, yeah, let's build Hole Breaker, Blade of the Ruin King on Jax and just absolutely crush in the side lane. Hero's got that on lock, man. Like, he's willing to take it. Honestly, funny enough, he's on his own in the side lane. He's got the stats to probably whoop both of them right now in a fight if he wanted to, so long as he doesn't get absolutely devastated by Fiora. And here, Team Secret want to make that same play from earlier happen. The split push is occurring right now with Hero with the Hole Breaker in the side lane, and they're going to be looking at the Baron buff. Artifact hasn't started onto it notably. He's going to look for Levi. He's going to find him on the miasma. He's going to get hunted down, and Kiang is now brought him down. Levi is no longer here with the smite to be able to help out this fight in any capacity. That's a big play, though! They didn't tag Style! Styles going to be able to run through the rest of the fight. Now it's Eddie versus Styles. Styles going to take that jump. He avoids an auto attack, and now Eddie, he has to live through this. The shot blast gets him, and Style gets 4.
The Quadra can look at him run up mid. They have a wave. Cardi can tank as well if they move to the second. And Kiaya has pushed Hero back enough that he didn't even get the inhibitor on the other side. Style comes up absolutely huge. The Get Excited is there. Hero gonna try and get the kill, but here comes Hero's entrance.
Okay, now I don't think actually Kadi, I don't think either one of these two actually want this fight, and I don't know that both of them want this fight, to be 100% honest with you.
What about
this is a really risky play. This is a really, really risky play going up against Hero. Now with Levi here, it might be a little bit easier to kind of stomach, and that is going to be enough Spain CC to actually make it work. Well played by the members of GAM, bringing in 3 for that, as they have turned the game around. Mobby Style is a monster, and he's going to be tearing off everybody from Secret. Secret thought they had an easy win, and GAM is not done yet.
50 seconds on Hero, 40 seconds now, and this started so well. They just killed Levi. Go back to the Baron. You don't need more. Let it go, and then Artifact Style on the edge, and Cardi does enough in the middle to buy the space for the Rockets to rain hell. The
Absolutely
Runas,
insane. There we
oh my
go.
god.
Cyclone into the back line. Now it's just about Rockets. There's no stun to come down. Artifact wasn't able to tag anything. Kiang now having to escape with a flash and a Q and an empowered blast cone. Now Eddie getting hunted down by the rest of the team. He's gonna get hooked and he's gonna go down as well. And that's multiple members of this Team Secret squad falling. Yeah, I think this is just it. It's only Kiang and Hero left now. Yeah, they don't trust it. They don't want to take that 50-50. They're going to go grab the Baron, and they're going to slow play this game out a little bit longer. They do not want to take a chance of anything else happening. As Hero's going to teleport right up mid lane. That is a bold maneuver by Hero. I mean, yeah, he's gonna go split pushing in mid lane to try to find the mid tower, try to get something going. But like, what are you, Hero? All you did was push the wave. No.
Maybe no. It doesn't even have possession on Dragon because it's not the right time yet. Artifact and Eddie are going to be up. Maybe he can set a trap. Maybe he can catch someone out. He's going to find a red buff, but what's he going to do? He's got the hull breaker. He can maybe kill Ki up. That's the best he can hope for. He was
winning that fight against Ki. He was trying to get the red buff, but that's all he was going to be able to get. They stalled time now. Artifact and Eddie are both available. Zuhao is going to be back as well. Can they stay here around the Dragon enough time to maybe make it happen? TP's coming in from Artifact only just now. I think they bought enough time for the Dragon fight at minimum. And it's a question of whether GAM wants to actually contest them. If I were GAM, I would just push mid lane and say, to hell with the Dragon, to hell with the soul point. We don't care. If they can catch Hero here, that'd be good. Okay, Hero's driven out of the fight.
The waves are always set up properly for the side of GAM. That top wave is going to crash into the top tower. They can't try and send Hero out to pressure that one. He's going to try and get as much pressure as he can mid lane.
Yes.
But he needs to draw people to him so he can actually utilize that hull breaker, but he's not actually threatening anything. Kia's just going up there for kind of the hell of it, really.
If you're Team Secret, If you're Team Secret, I think you're fine with this because you're burning the Baron buff off of GAM. They don't really care about the soul point all that much either, but the more that you burn off of this GAM Baron buff is better. Zuhao is able to catch Levi. But let's just smite fight. Levi wins the smite fight, gets away the soul point, and not the biggest thing in the entire universe. Now Levi delivers Galio into the midst of everything, and Artifact is the only one remaining. Now Eddie is getting ripped on the backline. He's going to go down. Artifact goes down as well. Your damage is completely gone as two members from Team Secret pushed out away from their own base. Hero is dead. Artifact is dead. Eddie is dead. You have no one to defend this base as GAM just continues to barrel up the mid lane. Yeah, a minute until the Baron falls off, too. I don't think there's a way to stop this.
No, you have no damage on Zuhao and Kiang. There's no chance. It was so close. It was tentative.
It's not even going to happen.
They can't do it. The tower's
Kiang was trying to cut the wave. There's no one here for defense. And despite Team Secret giving their best damn effort I have seen all split in the closest games against GAM we have seen, GAM takes the reverse sweep and wins 2-1.